Let me ask you a question. Who's responsible for your life? Now, before you answer that, before you say, well, Jim, it's the government, or Jim, it's my boss, or it's the economy, I want you to pause for a moment. Because I've got news for you. It's not the economy. It's not your boss. It's not your parents, your past, or your circumstances. It's you. You hold the pen that writes the story of your life. You are the captain of your own ship. And the moment you take full responsibility, everything changes. See, most people spend their lives pointing fingers. They blame the economy when they don't have money. They blame their boss when they don't get promoted. They blame their parents, their past, their education. Everything except the one thing they can control themselves. But here's the truth. You can't grow if you keep making excuses. You can't move forward if you keep looking backward. And that's why today, I want to talk to you about something that changed my life forever. It's time to stop blaming others and start focusing on yourself. Because when you do that, when you truly take control of your life, everything shifts. And today, I'll show you exactly how. Let's get started. Let's begin by acknowledging something important. We live in a world where it's all too easy to point fingers. When things go wrong, we naturally look for someone to blame. It's the boss, the economy, the government, anyone but us. But I want to challenge that thinking. You see, the moment you take full responsibility for your life, everything begins to change. I remember once hearing someone say, the problem with life is not what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you. That's powerful. Because life is going to throw challenges your way, and there's no escape from that. What you do with those challenges is what will define you. When you focus on yourself, when you stop blaming others for your circumstances, you empower yourself. You stop being a victim and start becoming the creator of your own destiny. You are in control. The first key to success is to stop looking outward and start looking inward. Now, let me ask you, how often do you catch yourself blaming someone or something for your situation? Maybe it's your upbringing, your financial status, or even your relationships. The truth is, as long as you continue to shift the blame, you will remain stuck. Blame is a trap. It keeps you in a cycle of helplessness. And I'll tell you right now, nothing changes until you stop blaming. Blame is easy. It's comfortable. It's almost like a blanket you wrap yourself in to protect you from the harsh reality of life. But here's the harsh reality. Blame does nothing to change your life. In fact, it robs you of the most powerful thing you have, your ability to control your future. Let me be clear, blaming others doesn't change the past. It doesn't undo mistakes. And most importantly, it doesn't help you get to where you want to go. What gets you from where you are now to where you want to be is taking responsibility for your own life. So, stop blaming. Own your life. If you're struggling, take ownership of it. If you're not where you want to be, look inward and ask yourself, what can I do about it? The power is in your hands. You can start making choices that will move you forward. Take a moment and think about your life right now. How much control do you have over your situation? Be honest with yourself. Are you blaming others? Are you waiting for things to get better? Or are you taking steps to improve your own circumstances? This is the secret. The more you focus on yourself, the more you take responsibility for where you are, the more control you gain. And once you realize that, you will find that everything else falls into place. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for things to change. You start making things happen. Take action. Focus on yourself and stop blaming others. You are the key to your own success. Let's talk about the cost of blame. Every time you point a finger, every time you say, it's not my fault, you're not only shifting responsibility, you're paying a price. The price of blame is high, and here's the reality: you can't afford it. Blaming others feels good, doesn't it? It offers a temporary relief from the discomfort of facing your own shortcomings. It allows you to cast the blame elsewhere and avoid the difficult truth that you, and only you, are responsible for your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your life. But every time you do this, you give away your power. You see, when you blame others, you forfeit the very thing that makes you capable of change. Control. You lose your ability to take action, to learn, and to grow. When you blame, you're not in the driver's seat. You're a passenger on a journey that someone else controls. And I'll tell you right now, if you don't hold the wheel, you'll never reach your destination. Blaming others for your situation wastes precious time and energy. Let me put it simply, time is one of the most valuable resources you have. Every moment you spend blaming someone or something is a moment you could have spent finding a solution, learning, or improving. Every minute of blame is time lost, never to be recovered. Imagine you're in a car and you're driving down the road of life. Now, think about this. If you keep looking out the rearview mirror, you'll never move forward. You'll be stuck, looking at the past, trying to figure out what went wrong and why. But you can't change what's behind you. All you can do is look ahead. Blame keeps you looking backward, and that's where the problem lies. The more you focus on what's already happened, the less energy you have to focus on what's ahead. And that's where true power lies. In the future, in the choices you make today. Here's something to remember: life is not perfect. Things go wrong. Mistakes are made. But blame doesn't fix anything. What blame does is reinforce the feeling that you are a victim of circumstances. It's a way of saying, I have no control. Life is happening to me, and there's nothing I can do about it. But that's a lie. The truth is, you always have a choice. Take a step back and ask yourself, what could I have done differently? How can I respond in a way that takes control? The answer is not in blaming anyone else. It's in looking at what you can do right now to improve your situation. Blame has a cost. It robs you of your potential. It keeps you stuck in the past. It wastes your time, and it clouds your vision of the future. But when you stop blaming, you free yourself. You take the wheel, and you get to drive your life in the direction you choose. So, ask yourself, is blaming others worth the cost? Is the temporary comfort of saying, it's not my fault, really worth the price you pay in lost time, lost growth, and lost control? The truth is, it's not. So stop paying the price on your life. Take responsibility and move forward, because that's where your power lies. Let's dive into a fundamental shift, the shift in mindset that can change everything for you. This is where the magic happens. When you stop blaming others and start focusing on yourself, you begin to see the world through a new lens. You see possibilities instead of obstacles. You see opportunities instead of problems. This shift in mindset is not easy. It takes practice, consistency, and most importantly, it takes awareness. You have to be aware of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Are you blaming, or are you taking responsibility? Here's a key lesson to remember. Life is not fair, and that's not something you need to feel bad about. In fact, accepting that life is not fair can actually set you free. The moment you stop expecting life to be fair is the moment you stop being a victim. You stop waiting for someone to give you what you think you deserve. You stop blaming the circumstances, and you start taking action. Now, don't get me wrong. Bad things happen to good people. I've seen it, you've seen it. But what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is how they respond to those challenges. Success is not about what happens to you. It's about what you do with what happens to you. Imagine a situation where things are falling apart. You could easily throw up your hands and say, "It's not my fault. Look at what they did to me." Or you could ask yourself, what can I do to change this? How can I use this situation to grow? The successful person doesn't waste time blaming. They find a way to turn the situation around, learn from it, and grow. They understand that challenges are a part of life, and they know that every challenge is an opportunity to develop new skills, to become more resilient, to grow stronger. Here's the point. Your mindset determines your future. If you approach life with the belief that everything is out of your control, you will never move forward. But if you approach life with the belief that you can control your actions and responses, regardless of the circumstances, you unlock a level of power that most people never experience. I once heard someone say, the greatest thing you can do is take full responsibility for your life. When you do that, you unlock your potential. It's so true. Because when you take full responsibility, you realize that the power is in your hands. You don't have to wait for life to give you permission. You don't have to wait for the stars to align or for things to be perfect. You get to create the life you want. So how do you make this shift? It starts with a simple change in perspective. Instead of looking at life through the lens of, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what can I learn from this? What action can I take to make this better? Remember, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you success on a silver platter. It's up to you to take responsibility for your life, your choices, and your future. The moment you make that shift is the moment you become unstoppable. So, what will it be? Will you continue to blame the world for your situation? Or will you embrace the power of responsibility and start making the changes that will transform your life? The choice is yours. And I can tell you, when you shift your mindset, your entire world shifts with it. Now that we've discussed the importance of responsibility and shifting your mindset, let's talk about a key pillar of success: self-discipline. Success is not about having a great idea or being in the right place at the right time. No, success is about consistent, focused action. And the foundation of that action is self-discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That's a powerful statement. Discipline turns your dreams into reality. It's the force that drives you to take action when you don't feel like it, to stay focused when distractions are all around, and to keep going even when the road gets tough. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you set a goal only to lose motivation and give up after a few weeks? Most people do this, and it's the reason why they never see the results they want. The problem is not the goal. It's the lack of discipline. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's a muscle that you build over time. It starts with small, everyday decisions. The more you practice self-discipline, the easier it becomes. It's about doing the right thing when nobody's watching, about following through even when it's inconvenient. It's about choosing to do what's hard in the short term so that you can achieve what's great in the long term. Let me give you an example. Imagine you set a goal to get in better shape. You're excited at first, but after a few days, it becomes harder to get up early and hit the gym. Your bed feels too comfortable, the weather's too bad, or you just don't feel like it. The easy choice is to skip it. But here's the truth: discipline is what makes you get up and do it anyway. It's the habit of showing up every day, even when it's tough. It's the willingness to delay gratification today in exchange for a bigger reward tomorrow. This is how successful people operate. They build habits of discipline into their lives. They don't just rely on motivation because they know it will fade. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is a constant. When you're disciplined, you don't need to rely on fleeting bursts of inspiration. You just keep moving forward. Self-discipline is also about self-control. You have to control your impulses, your emotions, and your reactions. It's about resisting the temptation to take the easy way out. It's about staying focused on your long-term goals rather than giving in to the short-term pleasures that won't serve you in the future. And here's the beauty of discipline. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. It starts with small actions like waking up early, keeping promises to yourself, or sticking to your daily routines. Over time, these small acts of discipline build momentum, and that momentum will carry you to your greatest achievements. Think about the most successful people you admire. Are they lucky? Are they born with some special gift? No. What they have is an unwavering commitment to discipline. They've learned how to focus, how to work hard, even when no one is watching, and how to keep moving forward one step at a time. Self-discipline is not easy, but it's simple. It's about doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. It's about staying true to your goals, no matter the obstacles. It's about creating habits that support the person you want to become. And here's the thing. Once you develop self-discipline, nothing can stop you. You'll have the power to achieve whatever you set your mind to, because you'll have the willpower and the consistency to see it through. Now ask yourself, what areas of my life am I lacking discipline? Where can I start practicing small, consistent actions that will move me toward my goals? The time to start building discipline is now. Start small, be consistent, and watch how your life begins to change. Let's wrap this up with the most important part, the road to change. The truth is, we all have the ability to change our lives at any moment. It's not some grand event or a mystical moment that happens. The road to change begins the second you decide to stop blaming others, to take responsibility for your actions, and to focus on what's within your control. I know change can seem overwhelming. It can feel like a mountain that's too high to climb. But here's the secret. You don't need to move the entire mountain in one go. You only need to take the first step. And once you take that first step, you'll find the courage, the strength, and the willpower to keep going. Every small step you take matters. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You don't need a perfect plan. What you need is the commitment to make today better than yesterday. The road to change is built on these three things: commitment. You must commit to the process, not just the outcome. Too many people give up because they want instant results. They want change to happen overnight. But change is a journey, not a destination. And that journey starts with commitment. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, even when you don't see immediate results. Consistency. It's easy to start strong, but the real power lies in consistency. Discipline is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. When you're consistent, you create habits, and habits create results. The more you practice, the more progress you make, and the closer you get to the person you want to become. Patience. Change takes time. It's like planting a seed and watching it grow. You don't see the results overnight, but with patience, you begin to see the progress. Don't rush the process. Trust it. Know that every small effort is compounding, and eventually, the change will be undeniable. But let's be real for a moment. The road to change is not always easy. It's full of challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. You will face difficulties, and you'll be tempted to give up. But here's the key: the road to change is the road to growth. I want you to understand that growth only happens when you face adversity. You'll never grow if you stay in your comfort zone. Success doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from learning how to rise after every fall. And this is where it gets powerful. The moment you stop blaming others, stop complaining about your circumstances, and take full responsibility for your life, you shift your perspective. You realize that every obstacle is an opportunity. Every setback is a lesson. Every challenge is a stepping stone to something greater. The road to change is not about avoiding the hard times. It's about learning to embrace them, to find the strength to keep moving forward. Even when you feel like giving up, you're not just changing your circumstances. You're changing who you are. So ask yourself today, are you ready to stop blaming? Are you ready to take responsibility? Are you ready to change? I can promise you this, the road ahead will be tough, but it will be worth it. And when you look back, you'll be amazed at how far you've come, at the person you've become, and at the life you've created. You hold the keys to your success. It's all within your control. The moment you take responsibility for your life, everything changes. So take that first step today. Stop blaming others. Start focusing on yourself. Commit to your growth. And begin your journey to the life you deserve.